Good night, everyone. This is Pixelia here, and I'm with Serena. Serena Ellis. How do you prefer? Like, what do you prefer? Do you prefer Serena? Serena Ellis?
Serena Elis, or actually it's supposed to be Serena Elis, but whatever you
Ellis?
want.
Okay, Serena Ellis. No, no, that's good to know. I like going by their actual name. So, Serena Ellis. Okay, so thank you for being here, Serena. Uh, it's actually an honor. Like many people in here may not know you, or some of them at least will not know you. This is hosted in the Central Games, and there's a lot of new players today as well. A lot of first timers in the Central and in the Central Games. But I do know who you are. You're kind of an icon here in the Central End.
Oh, thank you.
So I wanted to just start there. I usually start these interviews in the same way, asking, in this case, you, how was it that you acquired your first crypto coin? How was the process from you uh, to start learning crypto until you got it? And when did you first arrive at the Central End after you initiated this journey?
Yeah, so I started in crypto around 2017. I had a friend who worked in the tech space in Silicon Valley. There's a lot of tech
Mm-hmm.
startup companies. And one of his friends worked for Coinbase in 2017. So he was part of like security or holding crypto assets in Coinbase. And we were at just a party one day, in San Francisco, and they were all kind of talking about crypto, and I was immediately like drawn in to the idea. And yeah, so in 2017, we kind of talked about it, and then signed up for Coinbase, and I bought Bitcoin for the first time, and also Ethereum. Like those were the 2 coins that I bought. And I started learning how to use Ledger really early on, and yeah, that's kind of like where my journey started, was Coinbase. And then throughout the years, I was actually crypto before it crashed in 2017, when it was at 19 and it went all the way to like 5 or something. Like I saw the crash happen. I lost money because I didn't know what I was doing, but I got so nervous doing a transaction that I sent like Bitcoin to Bitcoin Gold at one point. So I just like lost like my crypto. I had no idea what I was doing. So that was my first amateur moment in the space. And then yeah, so I kind of was down in the bear market at that point, and I did buy crypto around that time. And then around 2020, the whole COVID situation happened, and around March, I think, is when COVID happened, or April of 2020, and that's when I bought Mana for the first time. I still
Okay.
have, still have a screenshot of buying Mana at 1 cent, or like it was like 1 or 2 cents at the time.
Oh, that's a long time ago.
Yeah, so I put $75 in, and I had like 7,500 Mana. I was like, all right, we'll see what happens, because I started watching a YouTube video about Decentraland, and then I was just like in awe, just kind of like, wow, like you can create anything you want in here, like this is amazing, you know. So that was kind of like my epiphany, and like this moment of just like realizing the potential. I saw it very early. Like I just instantly, there was no question.
So this is like 2020, let's say. No,
Yeah.
2019, right?
I think
2019, 2020.
I might have done a little bit of research before I bought it. So I know I bought it in 2020 in March. So I might have
Okay.
done a little bit of research before that, Decentraland. I might have known about it before. I can't like quite remember that, but Did my research, and then bought the coin. And yeah, since then I haven't really looked back. I've been really deep into Web3. I haven't really pivot to other areas.
Yeah, it is what happens. Like you kind of get like if you jump down the rabbit hole,
Yeah,
the equipment you get sunk in right
yeah, it's definitely like a fancy trip. Like once you go in, you don't come out,
Yeah,
and
now
you don't make it alive almost. So
this is the how. Okay, so that's and it's a very good, it's a very good story to be honest. It is like each person has their own, so it's always good to hear them. But this is the crypto side of Serena, right?
yeah,
Now, what about the musical side? Like you're also a musician, right?
yeah. Yeah, so I was always a streamer, like before Decentraland. So I was streaming
Okay.
on Twitch. Yeah, I was streaming, producing music on Twitch. So I would make music, production, performing, doing 3D art before I got into Decentraland. So when I got into Decentraland, the idea was already like I was accustomed to performing and streaming. So I just, you know, was there and it was pretty empty. There was not much action, but I'm like, hey, like let's see what we can do. Um, I met someone in Decentraland who had land. His name is Crypto Rye. You can look him up on Twitter, and you can kind of see like our old performances and stuff because we were doing events. And I don't remember any other people like doing events. So I started. I did my first performance back in, I don't remember the exact dates, but it might have been 2020, the end of 2020, something around there. And yeah, I started doing yoga, really random, but yoga, performing, and just talking on stream, just kind of getting used to being in this new environment and then being there as a 3D character. So my music started right around that time, and I was just being consistent performing. You know, I believed in the Decentraland, so I just was very like consistent.
What
And
like what like talk to me about your first event ever, like the first time you ever sang, like how was it? How was the experience for you?
yeah, no, it was really nice. It was pleasant. I thought it was a really different experience from me being on Twitch and just looking at a chat box. You know, so I yeah, I just like the whole idea of me being there as a character, you know, and as a 3D, I do 3D art. It just like I connected with the the experience.
There's a connection factor that I think that you're lacking in the streaming.
Uh, yeah,
You
and
know,
the stream.
the streaming is eventually is like it's you showing yourself and
Yeah.
maybe interacting through the like via chat, and it's a lot like even though the central and it's kind of the same, like the avatar aspect of the
Mm-hmm.
equation
Uh-huh.
it's what makes it personal, because you can actually make your avatar your own avatar, you know?
Yeah. Well, yeah, it just brings a whole new level of being creative and expressing yourself. Like, you know, during COVID, I didn't really go shopping a lot. Like, I couldn't really, you know, we couldn't really go out and travel. And so being in the metaverse around that time where, you know, traveling wasn't, you know, as, you know, common or whatnot, being in Decentraland, I can buy different things and express myself and not have to you know, spend triple the amount to have that experience, you know?
Yeah.
So there's just so many benefits.
Yeah, there's also the creative aspect of of the same experience. Like the Decentraland is also the opportunity to, to change your own game. Like if you're always shopping, what if I create now? Like
Yeah.
what if that like a lot of what ifs that in real life are very expensive.
Yeah.
Decentraland, you get to experiment and experience for a fraction, like for a minimal fraction of the cost. And then, you get to experiment a little bit and kind of figure out your own way to navigate both the real world and the central end at the same time, I think. Like, it's a
Yeah.
power to discover yourself.
Yeah, it is. And like you get to meet people from everywhere, and I think that's so cool. Like, in real life, you're just in that little vicinity. And, if you don't use streaming as a platform for music, you're only limited, really. You can't really connect and like we are, me and you right now on this platform. You're in, a different part of the world. And it's really cool. I love it.
Uh, I am right with you on that. Um, Now, your your like real life work,
Mhm.
correct me if I'm wrong at any point, you're also working remotely, right? So, um, talk to me a little bit more about the like musician uh, remote. Like, how does that work? Because I just need to ask you that. I have friends who are musicians, and like the traveling around part usually comes from like years of music.
Yeah.
You've managed to integrate them both, and like how does that work for you? Like how have you managed that?
Yeah, that's a great question. I've been in Decentraland for some time now, so I feel like I built enough, foundation enough for me to try to experiment different things. So I had the idea, and I'm always thinking of new ideas and new ways and concepts. So I was like, you know what? I don't have to be bound to my home office and then work in the metaverse. Like I don't have to do that. I can see what else is possible. Just like we would in the metaverse, we can do that in real life. And it's so crazy that you can apply some of the things that you learn in the metaverse and it'll spark something in reality in your current situation. So that's what it did for me. I'm like, how can I use the metaverse as a tool for my actual real life in other areas? So I just thought like, you know um, I can be digital, and there is a big community of digital nomads in the world, and especially in the crypto world.
I
So
am one of them.
woohoo. Well, that's good. We're now, who knows? I might meet you, you might meet me in a different city, and even collaborate in a game in the same time or in the same space. So, kind of when I got into that journey, I'm just kind of learning how to be able to travel, work in the meta, and then also find gigs in whatever city I'm in. And that's just like a no-brainer. It's like, okay, I can work wherever I want, and then I can perform whatever city I'm in, okay, and then stream it in the metaverse. Like, that's even a double win. Like, who wouldn't do that?
No, I haven't. It just makes sense, Serena.
Yeah, and
Like, when did it click for you? Like, for instance, like I think we are all experiencing a second where where it all makes sense in your mind and you're like, oh damn, I just need to do this. What was
well,
that moment for you?
Well, I think I have a big network of people that I know. So I know people from different, I guess, jobs, careers. So for me as a creative, I could pick on other people's like what they're doing and then make something of my own. You know what I mean? So like my friend, she's a trader, crypto trader, and she can travel digitally from anywhere. You know what I mean? Like she can trade anywhere she goes. So if I'm in the
Mhm.
meta, what makes that any different? It's still the
Yeah,
internet.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it just makes sense. God
But
damn it.
the only thing that is a little bit different is that you need a gaming computer and like you know sometimes with Decentraland you kind of need like a level computer, but they have gaming laptops. Like they have portable ring lights. I have one. I can bring my DJ set. I can bring everything and minimize it and make it work. And if I'm at a venue, they kind of already have all those setups anyway. So it's kind of like, you
Yeah,
know,
it just makes sense. Yes.
yeah.
And
But I'm still very early, and it's not like I've been doing this for years. Like it's still like part of it, like an experiment. Hopefully, like a permanent thing.
what about your skill set? Like, have you been building up your skill set as you go, like towards this goal, or have you just uh,
Very good
been
question.
lucky? Because it is.
Um, yeah. So there's two things. One, I have taken a little bit of a slower, I guess, time because I don't have my gaming computer. Can't make 3D art, and I was streaming with like three computers, so now I have like a laptop. So I'm working with what I got. So things have slowed down, but I think that only gives me room to see what else I can work on, whether that's social skills in real life. I don't, not saying I don't have social skills, but I'm trying to figure out how to use the real life to be better at different things. So I've been going to meetups, conferences in crypto in Web3. So I'm using different skills, working on different skills that I wasn't really working on the last couple of years.
That's nice. It's diversifying yourself basically.
Yeah, it's like you're building a nice portfolio and a really strong foundation. I know that, like, I understand how, Decentraland operates. And yeah, maybe I'm not performing every week, which I'm going to be starting back in April 12th, every Sunday. I just took a little bit of a break. And also, people were taking over Fridays. So I was just like, all right, let me take a break. um, but yeah, I'm gonna be starting my weekly performances again. But yeah, just working on other skills, which I think are really important too, because I've gone to some meetups, of some web startups, learning about account abstraction and like things I haven't really been doing research on. I just been performing. uh, so I'm in Asia, and Asia is one of like the biggest like crypto holders. They're like more advanced than the UA. So, the USA. So to me, it's an advantage. Like I'm not behind. I'm actually more ahead because there's people all in crypto here. And all
What
the,
what's the let's go there for a second. Talk to me about the crypto scene over there.
that's what I'm saying. They're all here. They're
There
all
there
here.
are
They're all working on the computer. They're
there,
not, they're not, they're mostly traveling and they're all the, I did some research on Forbes and like uh, you know, the Asian cult market is more advanced than we are in the Western, you know, part of the country. Like I can go to the local, um, I can go right now to like the local little, you know, stand where the woman is selling soup, and you don't pay her cash. You pay her digital with your phone. Like even
yeah,
they are paying.
but they are that's payment like payment wise, like money wise, but crypto
But
wise.
yeah, but they're already like in that digital transaction that they don't really use cash. So
But
to
do they
me,
pay crypto?
um,
No.
it's in not
or
like that, but besides that, they're the most crypto holders are in Thailand. So you're adopting quickly. And it could be because they've been doing these transactions, they're kind of used to the whole digital, thing.
yeah, look, I've seen some countries from the Asian culture, and like I agree with you. Digital, uh, digitally speaking, they're way more advanced. Like even the toilet. I mean,
Yeah, no,
like supercomputer toilets. Um, now, but I personally like it. It was a while ago already. It was like 4 or 5 years maybe, but it was a while ago. Last time I went there, a lot has happened in the world since then, crypto wise as well. And back then, crypto was not like it wasn't a mainstream thing yet. It
yeah,
was just bubbling. Right
yeah,
now, it's a different panorama, obviously. That's why I asked because I know that digitally wise, they were ahead. They've always been ahead. Um, but in the crypto reality of payments, of crypto real life and day to day use,
oh, right.
like th- like what's the deal there? Because I know of some NFT projects, Japanese and Korean ones, that are very successful. Like they're moving, pardon my French, shit tons of feet, and they're doing amazing things. But it's just like a niche. Like that's the way I perceive it. It's like a niche market.
Yeah,
Or is it
um,
being massively adopted? Okay.
yeah. Well, I haven't been here that long, so I don't, as far as like crypto, like I can't go to the grocery store and pay crypto. Unfortunately. And people Bitcoins, I don't know if you know them, but you could be able to like buy crypto in from people. That shut down recently, I think. I don't know if you heard about that.
The peer to peer, you mean like?
Yeah. So I think that was really common out here, but it recently shut down too. Um, but I just feel like the Asian market seems to be just tech savvy for a lot of different things. I mean, just from my experience, just going to the normal store or something like that. But yeah, I just did a little research and I see that Thailand has the most crypto holders in Asia, and Vietnam and Singapore are other Asian countries that are you know a lot of people are starting to hold more like of those assets. So
Yeah, Singapore is moving crypto as well.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So these are some of the things I'm learning out here, and I have to say, like, just being new to the area, I've gone to AI meetups, Web3, NFTs. Um, these are not even things I was really doing back in Florida. So it's really cool to kind of meet people from like different parts of the world who are coming together in this area to talk about these things. So I guess this is like one of the benefits of traveling and kind of like being able to collaborate or just network with people.
That's nice. Um, something's going on with your mic, Serena.
Really? Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you. It was
Oh, okay.
now. What about like? Okay, you said before that you were taking a break on your performances in the Decentraland, right?
Um,
Um, and then you said that you're coming back on the 12th of April, right?
yeah.
Um, what can we expect?
Well, there's a couple of things I'm working on. Even though I was taking a break, I'm still working, if that makes sense.
Yes, it doesn't sound like a break.
Right. Well, I kind of wanted to, I was performing every Friday, and things got a little bit like more. Not that Decentraland is like packed, but people started using Fridays as a day to do events. So it's kind of was a little bit harder to kind of like, people's. I don't want to like overlap someone's schedule. So I decided to go with Sundays. And yeah, I kind of wanted to use Sunday because I feel like in my personal life, it's like a day of like rest and a day of like relaxing and calmness. And I feel like my music is like spiritual, so I just kind of connected with the Sunday vibe. And yeah, I just kind of want to perform in whatever city I'm in, and that would be a little bit different from just me streaming in my room like I was before. Uh, so you can kind of
Yeah.
expect a little bit of a change in like the environment. And
Okay.
yeah, and
Will you be performing live, like
yeah,
as like
this is gonna
wire,
be,
wire streaming? Oh, that's cool.
yeah, I'll be performing live more because I don't have like four computers or like three computers and
That's
do what
cool.
I normally do, but this time it'll be live. Um, and yeah, I have a project I'm working on. I've been working on a women's empowerment project. Um, and you're just going to see a little bit more collaborations and stuff that I have a proposal coming up. And, I've worked with several women in the last couple months in Decentraland. I don't know if you've seen them, but I plan on just kind of continue to add that in my parcel or my menu that I have. So there's going to be some changes.
I've seen your parcel. I've seen uh, what you just mentioned. I have not. I will, however, like take a second to go and take a look.
Oh
But I
no,
would like you to talk to me a little bit more about this collaboration.
yeah, there's no changes yet on the parcel, but it's something that I want to change the whole thing. Like I don't want the whole like I I
Like
don't
the
want to,
whole bill? Like,
yeah,
are you gonna change the whole thing?
yeah,
Wow, so cool the way it is.
really.
Yeah, I love it. Well, I'm not like maybe I'm just used to it, and what you're gonna do is gonna blow my mind, and I'm gonna be like, I hated that building. What are you cooking for us, Serena?
um well, I wanted to use the Decentraland world experience so I can kind of build a little bit more. Um, I'm on a one by one parcel, which is nice, but I feel like with everything that I'm doing, I can add a lot, like a little bit more, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Like, but what do you have in mind? Like, are you gonna like do something in your parcel and then do something in world? That's
Yeah, I think,
maybe what you're doing.
well, I mean, I haven't really thought that part out. It's more of the in world. I kind of want to use the in world more
Huh.
for live performances. I know that's a little bit of a shift, but I'm all about experimenting and changing. I don't like to stay in the same spot. So,
That
yeah,
that
realize.
that's perfect. I was we were talking with someone the other day about that, and like I think people are like overlooking the potential of worlds. You know,
Not I.
like you can just do a portal in your parcel and then just build a whole freaking planet.
Yeah, I just feel like it gives me
Serena
more.
land.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to call it Daydream. Daydream is my actual company, and I just feel like it. makes sense with like mixed reality, daydream. I'm always in my imagination. So it's natural for me to daydream, and I just feel like it just goes really like it's very sweet with what I'm trying to do in the metaverse. So the vision of that is just I want to create an experience, and there's only so much I can do on a one by one. And I feel like, hey, the one by one has got me far, and I used it to the max capacity. Like I didn't just let it sit there. I used it to the best level that I could. When I'm ready to like, what can I do more? And if I had a, 5 by 5, I'd be probably doing some crazy things. So it just
Maximum polygon, maximum height.
right.
I
And
don't think.
right, I have characters. I make 3D art. You probably see my art. I can't get those on my one by one. I don't have enough polygon, and
No,
that's
no,
limitation for me.
that's what I'm telling you. Like the world just open. They open up like a huge. They unlock the central and potential, in my opinion, like to a
Right,
whole new level.
and I would love to utilize that and love my one by one. I can maybe just keep Serena, Ellis world, keep it there, and then have like a transportation into the world or something. I don't know.
Yeah, to another dimension. That's dope. Yeah,
Yeah, I want to experiment, and I wouldn't be here in Decentraland or here or like one of the first entertainers if I wasn't if I didn't like to experiment. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. That I totally agree. Like I think that none of us would be in crypto if we
Right.
didn't experimented at all. You
Right.
know.
Exactly. We like to dip into the unknown and try things out, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's it's kind of human nature as well. You know, like in my country we have a saying like it translates like curiosity kill the cat.
Hmm.
Like you just gotta take a peek. You know, like
Yeah.
you just gotta touch it. Yeah, you just gotta take a look, just one look. Uh, Serena. Now, just to try and kind of wrap it up a little bit, what can we expect in the near future? Like you just told me, like you're gonna start playing like IRL. You're gonna start streaming it into the central end. We have the daydream world thing that you're. Like I can expect something amazing because I know you did your venue, so I know that there's something to expect there amazing. But I don't know where you're gonna take it. But what else? What else are you cooking? Like music wise, are you working on an album or an NFT release drop type of thing or not?
No.
Not right.
I not right now. I mean, not too long ago, I did my second music video in Decentraland. So I'm one of the first, well, I guess active artists doing music videos. So I've been doing that. Um, like the last one I did was like a month ago.
Yeah.
Uh, so that was cool. Um, but I haven't really like made music like that. I have to get really like in that realm. So we'll see. I mean, I don't know. I don't know where I'll be because I'm gonna be working with more artists. So I don't. Maybe that will spark more collaboration or creativity. Because sometimes when you work with others in that niche, it'll
Yeah.
spark.
Yeah.
You know. But it's different from. I'm not gonna be working with artists that are just DJs. Like they're artists. Like they're not saying that they're different, but they're either singers or they're a little bit different. You
Like
know.
yeah, you know. I get what you're saying. Like you're gonna be like musicians, more like classical musicians, so to say, like not classical. Let's say, I get what you're saying. Like guitarists, singers,
Yeah,
like
something
not
I want
DJs.
to do, not just DJs.
Yeah, I get you.
No.
I get you.
So yeah, I want to just experiment. I just want to try different things and see what works. But you know, if it doesn't work, I just go back to something else. Like,
You'll
hey,
just try something else, and that's it.
yeah, um,
That's what's good about this page. You can always try something different. Um,
yeah.
Serena, what would you tell to someone who is experiencing the Decentraland for the first time? Like, what would be your Serena wisdom tip for the day? Like, if you could just share one, like, wisdom words for someone jumping for the first time, Genesis Plaza, just before they jump into the funnel, what would you tell them?
Um, I would say if there was anything you can imagine, you can create it. Anything that you want, you can make. I mean, yeah, I would either try to, I would say that, or I would say like, hey, like whatever you're into and your niche and your passion, use that and then use it in the metaverse. You can you can figure it out because it's possible. Anything in this life is possible, even in reality, and it can be even more possible in the metaverse. So just just do that and don't think about it too much because when you overthink it, you don't do it.
Agreed, 100%. And
Yeah.
100% agree in the anything is possible type of thing, because I will never forget the first time like I heard someone saying like anything is possible in the metaverse. I'm like, dude, what the hell, like cliche type of phrase, what the hell? And I jumped in, and the first thing I see is a giant dog, like super muscular dog, like walking around offering me tips on the central. And I'm like, what the what? And then the octopus, like drummer in that bar that they have downstairs, that it's great. The
Yeah.
Zeppelin, the world is yours, Zeppelin. I will never forget the first time I saw it either.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it is. It's literally your oyster. Whatever you want, you can like, and I think that just applies to real life too. Like, we think that it's, in reality, we can't have all these things. We can. It's all here in the imagination. Because it starts
Really.
here, and you create. It starts here, create. So
You
it's.
visualize and then you materialize.
I even have it tattooed on me. Um, I have just sure. I know you but this is from Albert Einstein. Imagination is everything.
Yeah,
So he knew the power of imagination.
yeah. It's my grandma. She's like a bag of wisdom. Okay, she's like a Gandalf woman in the family, and she would say the same. She would say like, if you can visualize it, you have the power to materialize it.
Mhm.
You know,
That's
that's
it.
why. That's also why it's so important the way you look at things. Like the
Yeah.
way you look at things is the way things are. So if you change the way you look at things,
Yeah.
they change.
Yeah. No, it's true. All in perspective. Even
Yeah,
sometimes, if you ever feel some type of way looking at anything online, it's just a reflection of,
yeah.
of you. That's all that it is. So it's
Even
like
even
everything.
even defects that you can see in other people, like when you're looking at someone and that someone like pisses you off,
Right.
whatever it is that it's triggering that reaction in you, it is something you have in the equal proportion. It's
Yeah.
an opposite reaction, it's an opposite reaction to a stimulus. It's even one of Newton's laws.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. So, actually,
Serena, it has been an amazing chat with you today. And I cannot wait to see what
sorry,
else
my
you have for us. No, it's okay. It happens.
computers.
It happens.
Yeah, no, I
Um,
appreciate.
what will be will be paying attention to what to what you're cooking, and we'll be more than happy to also be there for you, supporting you. Uh, Thank you for being here today. On behalf of my partner Milito and myself, thank you. It's an honor to have you here. I hope that we can have a second round interview, later on, so that you can tell us a lot about your evolution in the central and in the crypto space. I can wait to see what you have
Oh,
in the
thank
store for us. So I guess we'll just have to be patient and allow
you.
time to do its thing.
Yeah, yeah. The greatest things are built on patience. Trust me.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but I really appreciate you and what you're doing here, and kind of, doing these interviews so other people can learn. So you're doing a great job.
Thank you
So
for that, Serena. Really appreciate your kind words, and again, it's been an honor having you here. You have a good day, and for me, good.
yes.
Take care. See you in a minute.
Ciao.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Ciao.